Okay, this is not meant to be a tutorial on how to downwind foil. I really don't feel like my skill level is appropriate to be telling people how to do this. Really what I'm trying to do here is just catalogue my journey in learning how to downwind foil. Um, if it's interesting or useful for anybody out there, then I'd be really stoked. That'd be awesome. But it's one of the most fun parts of foiling, as far as I'm concerned, and it's a mindset. It really is, because why not use a wind wing? It makes everything easier. You can go upwind. You can recover. You don't have to rely on a boat for a tow up, or paddle power if you're doing it with a supboard. I don't know. Maybe it's the challenge. Maybe it's just wanting to push myself. I do feel like it's a mindset thing. That it's eventually the goal is it's just near the ocean and being able to read it well enough to keep going for kilometre after kilometre. So equipment. The first thing that I learned is use the equipment that is best suited for your conditions. So out here in Oman we get a lot, and I mean a lot of light wind days. This is 8 to 12 knots. The swell is marginal, but use the right equipment and you can still have a blast. This is the Axis 1300, and I've used a lot of foils, but this one for me, in the conditions that we have a lot here, this is really making my learning journey a lot easier. When it's bigger, I use the Go Forward P180. I feel they're both very similar in characteristics from the point of view that they've got reasonable speed, higher speed than, say, the Go Forward GL240 and the Axis 1150. They both have the most amazing glide, and they both are so easy to pump. And downwinding, it's all about energy efficiency. If you pump too much, you're going to just run out of energy, and that's it. So having a foil that is designed to pump really well and has really good glide is to me, it's a no-brainer. So if equipment is the most important thing, then the next most important thing for me is learning to read the ocean. And I had a lot of time wind winging, practicing downwinding, and that's really helped me. So yeah, wind winging is a really good way to learn this skill, how to read the ocean. Just try and rely less and less and less on the wind wing each time you go out. If you head straight downwind in the direction of the swell, you will very quickly hit the beach, and that's not what you want to do, because your run will end very quickly. So I've been teaching myself in this direction anyway to head left, just constantly turning left, pumping over swell behind to get to the next swell. So if you like, riding the swell down the line, and then before it finishes, going up and over behind the swell, and then pumping to the next one, or sometimes going over 2 or 3 bumps until you find another decent bit of swell, and then turning onto that, having a little glide for a rest. So the next tip really is energy efficiency. You've got to be as energy efficient as you possibly can. And if you're going to head straight downwind, not only do you hit the beach, but you're just going to be pumping over bumps, and that is really hard. That takes a lot of energy. And even if you do manage to pump over a bump, the swell's probably changed anyway, so it's constantly forming and reforming. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to hit a bit of ground swell like I've done there on the video, just really gliding to the right in that section, that was because a bit of ground swell came along and I just turned to the right and rode it all the way down the line. It's a lovely, lovely feeling. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. Those glides. Yeah, you can tell when it's ground swell. It's a lot faster, and you can sort of ride all the way down the line like a wave. So yeah, efficiency is the key, and pumping, in this case to the left, over swell to get back behind it will also ensure that you're moving parallel with the coastline. So for every glide that you do towards the coastline, you're also pumping out over the swell to sort of to go away from the coastline as well. And that makes your pumping really energy efficient, because you can sort of like glide down the back of the swell. And pumping on the top of the swell is a lot easier than pumping in the trough. Turning is something that I'm beginning to work on, but you need a much better appreciation of how to predict the swell and how it forms and reforms. Turning to accelerate, turning to gain speed is something that the good guys do, and I think is the next level for me in my skill set. So lots more practice. I'm really enjoying this journey, I really am. I hope this is of interest to people out there. But no matter what your conditions, you know, set yourself a challenge and go for it. It's out there for us to achieve. Take care.